The internet just spent a week arguing over a humanoid robot washing dishes, and the twist is that the robot didn't exist at all. So let's break down the clip that fooled millions, plus the wave of robots blurring the line between real and fake so badly that companies are now cutting their machines open just to prove they're real. Number 1, the dishwashing robot that never existed. Let's start with the video that kicked the whole thing off, because it's the cleanest example of the internet getting played. A company called Qualia, a robotics software startup recently selected for Google DeepMind's robotics program in Europe, posted a glossy clip on X of a humanoid robot standing at a sink and calmly washing dishes. The motion was so smooth, so unnervingly natural, that thousands of people assumed they were watching a genuine breakthrough, and that's exactly where the trouble started. Users flooded the replies asking a simple question: is this actually real? Because when something moves that fluidly, the human brain immediately gets suspicious. Eventually, Qualia's founder, Fabian Kurge, confirmed what the skeptics suspected. The humanoid was not a real robot at all. In his words, the company builds training infrastructure, not hardware. And then he added a line that poured gasoline on the fire. Got your attention though, complete with a grinning emoji. Here's the important context. Qualia doesn't even manufacture robots. The footage was a promotional illusion meant to show off their training software, not a working machine. The reaction online was brutal. One Reddit user asked point blank if that wasn't just misleading. Another joked that C3PO was more convincing, and plenty of people pointed the finger at a certain electric car CEO for normalizing this kind of stunt in the first place. In an industry already drowning in exaggerated demos, a software company faking the exact hardware it doesn't build is not a good look. Number 2, when real robots get accused of being fake. Now flip the situation completely, because there's a company with the opposite problem. A robot so lifelike that crowds refused to believe it was real. When Xpeng unveiled its latest humanoid, the way it walked and shifted its weight looked so smooth and organic that audiences immediately assumed there had to be a person inside a suit. The accusations got loud enough that Xpeng did something you rarely see. They physically cut the robot open on stage to expose the wiring, actuators, and mechanical joints underneath, just to prove there was no human hiding in there. Think about how strange that is as a milestone. We've officially reached the point where robotics has become good enough that the highest compliment, "it looks too real," instantly curdles into the harshest accusation, "it must be fake." Xpeng is framing all of this as part of a gradual march toward mass production, with the team aiming for large-scale manufacturing by the end of 2026, which could put hundreds or even thousands of humanoid units into shops, venues, and public spaces. Businesses are eyeing them for managing foot traffic, greeting guests, and handling basic retail tasks. The company has been careful not to promise a home version yet, since safety, privacy, and reliability standards for a robot inside your house are a whole different mountain to climb. But the signal is unmistakable. Robots that move in a genuinely lifelike way are no longer science fiction. They're walking onto stages and leaving audiences unable to tell what they're looking at. Number 3, the stunt that started the trust problem. To understand why the internet is so quick to cry fake, you have to look at the stunt many people blame for kicking off this whole crisis of trust. Tesla's Optimus program has spent years dogged by accusations that its slickest demos lean on hidden human operators pulling the strings behind the scenes. That skepticism boiled over when a clip went viral of an Optimus robot interacting with water bottles on a table, then suddenly raising its arms over its head, losing balance, and collapsing backward as if it had fainted. On its own, that might have read as a simple glitch, but eagle-eyed skeptics noticed the robot's exact arm motion looked suspiciously like a person reaching up to yank a virtual reality headset off their face, fueling the theory that a remote operator had been controlling it the entire time. It's still just a theory, but the fact that so many people instantly believed it tells you everything about the credibility hole this industry has dug for itself. And there's a real technical distinction hiding underneath all the drama. As one robotics researcher put it, unless a company explicitly states a robot is fully autonomous, you should take the demo with a very big pinch of salt, because a huge number of these jaw-dropping clips still rely on teleoperation, a human quietly driving the machine's every move. That gap between what a robot appears to do and what it can actually do on its own is precisely the crack these viral moments keep falling through. Number 4, Moya and the art of the heavily edited demo. Not every fooling attempt is a full fake or a hidden operator, some are just very generously edited, and China's Moya is the poster child. Built by a Shanghai startup called Droid Up, Moya stands about 5.5 feet tall, runs warm at real human body temperature, and mirrors your facial expressions back at you using cameras hidden behind each eye. The headline claim is that she walks with 92% accuracy compared to a natural human gait, an impressive sounding number, except it's the company's own figure, not independently verified. When the demo hit the internet, the skeptics went to work fast. The single most upvoted comment mockingly called it a natural geriatric gait, with people noting the word natural in the marketing was doing some seriously heavy lifting. The promo editing didn't help either. A scene of Moya pouring orange juice for an elderly woman was clearly cut to hide what the robot can and can't actually do, and viewers pointed out the hands looked like stiff wooden sticks. The financial picture raised eyebrows too. A 2-year-old startup that had already burned through nearly half its funding, priced at a steep $173,000 a unit. The takeaway isn't that Moya is a hoax. There's even unscripted footage of real attendees walking up and touching her at a live venue. It's that the gap between a polished promo cut and honest reality has become the industry's favorite place to hide. Number 5, how to actually spot the fakes. So how do you protect yourself from getting fooled by the next viral robot clip? There's a simple mental checklist experts keep repeating, and it cuts through almost all the hype. First, ask whether the robot is actually operating autonomously or whether a human is teleoperating it off screen, because unless a company or a research paper explicitly says the machine is fully autonomous, you should assume a person might be helping. Second, ask whether the demo shows the robot handling a brand new environment for the first time, or whether it's simply repeating a task it's rehearsed hundreds of times in that exact spot, which is far less impressive than it looks. Third, watch the editing. Hard cuts right before or after a tricky action, suspiciously smooth motion, and camera angles that conveniently hide the hands or feet are all classic tells that something's being covered up. This matters because the technology genuinely is advancing at a staggering pace. Real breakthroughs are happening every single week, which is exactly why the fakes and the exaggerations blend in so easily. When authentic progress looks unbelievable, an actual illusion slips right through unnoticed. The healthiest position is somewhere in the middle, neither believing every viral clip nor dismissing the whole field as smoke and mirrors. Stay curious, stay a little skeptical, and always ask that one question before you hit share. Is this robot really doing what it appears to be doing, or is the internet being fooled all over again? The line between real and fake in robotics is only going to get blurrier from here, and it's going to keep getting more fascinating to watch. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.